I'm never gonna get divorced. I'm never gonna be an alcoholic. I'm never gonna be a drug addict. I'm never gonna be a bad mom. I'm never gonna have kids, without being married. I'm never, never, never. And I became all those things and then some.
All this pain, I wonder if I'll ever find my way.
I was raised in a Christian home till I was 6. When my mom left my dad, it changed my entire world. So I went from being this happy-go-lucky, trusting, excited little daddy's girl to being a very angry, sad, lost, and lonely little girl.
Could all that is lost ever be found?
I had my eye on this one guy, and he was my stepbrother's best friend. One day he asked me to skip school and hang out with him, so I did. And that was the first time I was raped that year, but not the last.
You make beautiful things.
And I would have thought, and you would have thought, somebody, would think that their children are gonna be, worth it, that they're gonna, quit doing certain things because they have kids now. And for a while I was able to, but that quickly turned. I went right back to my old ways and then drug him through that same lifestyle. For somebody who wanted to be a mom all her life and somebody who wanted to be a good wife, all of her life, I was horrible at it. When I was 24, I met my second husband and ended up spending the next 6 years of my life in the worst place I could ever possibly be. He did a lot of damage to me, just physically and emotionally and mentally, and he introduced me to everything from ecstasy to coke to meth. But those were the things I said I would never do, like I'd never do the hard drugs. But after I left him, I was in so much pain, I started doing meth every day. And I realized through that year, oh my God, I have a problem. So here I am, going to church 2 times a week, going to Bible study, praying every day, reading my Bible every day, really trying to get good. Then I realized, oh my gosh, I might be pregnant. And so I went to the dollar store and got a pregnancy test and went into the McDonald's there in town, took the pregnancy test and was pregnant. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I already have 2 kids by 2 different dads. I've already had an abortion, I can't have another abortion, but I didn't even know who the father was. A couple more weeks until my 30th birthday, and I had already pre-registered at one of the churches I was going to go on this women's retreat. And that day I was on MySpace and I was looking around for guys and ended up meeting this guy on there, and all of a sudden I get this frantic phone call from my stepmom and she's like, oh my God, Michelle, where are you? The pastor's wife just called and said that you didn't show up in the bed you were supposed to sleep in. Oh my God, where are you? So I was like, hey man, I gotta go. I'll see you later. So I just left, got in my truck, and I was only about a mile away from where the retreat was happening. I knock and the door opens. This lady is standing there and she's crying. She goes, oh my God, Michelle. She's like, oh my gosh. And this one lady comes up to me and she says, since you had such a hard night on the mountain, let me buy you lunch. So I'm choking down this sandwich, just trying to make small talk with this lady that I know she knows I'm lying. And she sits down and I sit, and she turns towards me and she says, so what triggered you to use again? I just broke, the tears just started pouring out of my eyes, and I was like, every time I try to be good, I'd do all this stuff, and I've been going to church and going to Bible study, doing all the right stuff, and then I just do nothing but screw up. I'm nothing but a screw up. At the end of our conversation, she just looked at me and she says, I'm gonna challenge you. I said, okay. And she goes, I'm gonna challenge you to be transparent with these women and give them the opportunity to love you. And I said, women like them don't love women like me. Sorry, not gonna happen. And she goes, I'm gonna challenge you to be transparent and give these women the opportunity to love you. So after I was done telling them my story and telling them who I was still looking at the ground because I was so afraid to look up at their faces, just knowing that they were gonna judge me. And instead, they came over and they laid hands on me. And they just began praying over me and just telling me, speaking hope into me. And they were praying over my sons and just praying all these blessings on me. And the part that chokes me up about that is that I just told them who I was. And they didn't judge me. In fact, they loved me. That was the moment my life changed. Fast forward 8.5 years, now everything has changed. I have this awesome husband, and my boys are both doing very well, have both forgiven me for my past. I have 2 beautiful stepdaughters now, and so it's kind of like even the 2 children that I aborted, God even gave me 2 children back. And so living and working in full-time ministry and being able to mentor all the women and girls that I've been able to mentor, it makes me look back at my past, and even though I wouldn't want to live through it again, it makes me so thankful that I did live through it, because it has expanded my territory. There's so many people that I'm able to reach that I wouldn't have been able to reach if I didn't have that story. And so I'm just so thankful that God has made all things new, and He continues to renew me.